You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. As the Suncoast continues to see a big growth in population, one city is seeing the need to expand its schools. ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now from Venice with details of the ongoing problem there. Rebecca?
Scott, well, the problem is here at Venice High School. There are about 300 students over capacity. So today, the Sarasota County School District started a series of public meetings to try and find a solution.
There's been quite a bit of growth in the area. So as more people move in, we've ended up with more kids coming to Venice High School to a point now where it's 100% full.
Venice High School is now overcrowded. It was only intended to have 2,100 students and currently has about 2,400. So now the challenge is, how should they address this growth?
You have to look for other ways to hold those kids. We always tell our principals we'll never have anyone sitting in classroom outside, that we'll always have a seat for every student. But where is that seat going to be? Is it in a permanent location like a new classroom wing, or is it going to be in a temporary location like a portable?
The temporary portables would only be put in if the decision would be for a new high school to be built. So now the Sarasota County School District is asking for the public's input by hosting a series of meetings throughout the next few weeks.
So the two choices basically is make Venice High School a super big school by putting another wing on, or temporarily make Venice High School a big school by adding portable classrooms. What that allows them to do is have classrooms for the overcapacity while they build a new high school in another location.
The district will then be taking all the responses to the December school board meeting, where they would make a final decision.
We've listened to the community, we talked to them about what they think, and this is their ideas. Now ultimately the decision is the board's, but it's always good to hear from the community, especially a very important decision like this one.
That school board meeting will be held at the Venice City Hall on December 10th, and they will be making a final decision on the future of Venice High School. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much. The man accused of gunning down 17 people at a Florida high school registered to vote while waiting behind bars for trial. Nicholas Cruz registered as a Republican on July 25th. He's charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder for the Valentine's Day mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. The father of a victim tweeted Saturday that he's sick to his stomach. Cruz was allowed to register while in jail and criticized the Broward County Sheriff for allowing it. But by law, Cruz has not been convicted of a crime and was eligible to vote this year. New at 5, a crane tilted over and crashed into a gym in Manatee County. That crane was doing work next to the Crunch Fitness at University of North Lockwood Ridge when it tilted over, crashing into the gym. A trainer at the gym said she was working inside when it happened.
I was training one of my clients and we heard this really loud bang, like it sounded like almost like a bomb, or like the whole back room just collapsed. What they did was the firemen started coming in, and they had a crane come over, and the crane was lifting off this crane and it didn't work. So after that they had to clear out the building. So we've been cleared outside for about a little over an hour right now.
Witnesses say that crane was lifting items from the roof and the truck started to tilt and then hit the roof of the building. The driver jumped from the truck as it began to lift off the ground. No word on the extent of that driver's injuries, but he was taken to the hospital for treatment. Sarasota City Commission will hold what could be a final vote in January on the Lido Beach Pavilion and Pool redevelopment plan. The vote will decide whether the plan, which includes remodeling the pavilion into a 200-seat restaurant, along with a tiki bar and rented cabanas, is compatible with the neighborhood and meets the criteria of a major conditional use. That special meeting on the Lido Pavilion will now be held January 14th at City Hall. Let's check now on our beach weather, maybe the place to be on this Monday, with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
It has been over the weekend too. Gorgeous weather, warm weather too. Temperatures today tying a record high, 88 degrees at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing fair skies now there, and pretty much clear up and down the coast too, and it looks as though we won't see much in terms of rain. Isolated shower not out of the question, mainly inland. It's 82 right now, sunshine out there. The dew point's still very high in the low 70s. and that means we have some very warm temperatures expected again overnight. Lows will be in the low to mid 70s up and down the coast, which is more reminiscent of summer months as opposed to here we are in mid to almost late fall. Now you can see this frontal boundary stretching all the way down into the panhandle of Florida where severe storms are possible tonight. Very active situation there with tornado watches in place over the panhandle of Florida. For us, I mentioned a few spotty showers down again, working their way off toward the north, basically on a south to southwest wind. Everything will be kept well inland, it looks like. We had a few showers nearer the coast earlier this afternoon. Those have, for the most part, moved on from Punta Gorda, but you can see every once in a while 1 or 2 showers popping up here and there, and that's not out of the question for the evening. The big story is the warm temperatures, record-breaking highs again close tomorrow. It's 82 now with that south to southwest wind, kind of keeping things a bit cooler near the coast. Inland areas still into the mid 80s in Arcadia, 84 there. It's 80 in Sarasota, 79 in Cortez, and 79 in Venice. While the tropics is still very active, even in this month, we have this tropical low possibly developing into a depression or even a tropical storm as it makes its way off to the west-northwest. We'll have more on this coming up in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. If you've driven on Main Street in downtown Sarasota, you've passed it, but maybe never seen it. It's a short phrase on the side of a brick wall in the middle of the 5 Points roundabout. It says, "Welcome, buddies." This is actually a replica of an earlier sign that was put up 100 years ago to welcome home soldiers from World War I. Some people we talked to were aware of it, while most were not.
Welcome, buddies.
Welcome, buddies. What would your guess be that could mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
It was to welcome back World War I soldiers.
Would that tie this in with the statue we have of the KISS?
That's World War II.
That's World War II. As you can tell, I'm a history buff.
What do you think it means?
It means Veterans Day. Welcome home, soldiers.
He's right. There's a plaque on the sidewalk there a few feet away that explains that Welcome Buddies sign. You still have a little bit of time to catch the Siesta Key Crystal Classic. More than a dozen sand sculptures are in a fenced-off area along the public beach. 2 big winners have already been announced in the team competition. Alice Down the Time Hole is the first-place winner. And in the solo artist category, the sculpture Time is What You Make of It takes top honors. You can still vote for your favorite sculpture. The People's Choice Award will be announced tomorrow. They are amazing, for sure. Still to come in your Suncoast News, new guidelines for doctors treating patients with high cholesterol, and why the FDA is preparing to ban the sale of menthol cigarettes. Those stories coming up.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Happy Honda Days are here, and you're gonna like the holiday clearance savings. Save on the Accord. On sale for just $249 a month. That's the North American car of the year for less than the competition. Our most impressive Honda ever. On clearance for only $249 a month, loaded with more options, including a turbocharged engine and Honda Sensing. Do not miss these Honda clearance savings this week at your local Honda dealer.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $182 a month, or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust. ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. High cholesterol increases a person's risk for heart disease, but new guidelines for treating high cholesterol are now being touted by experts. Jeremy Roth has more on those new guidelines.
More than 800,000 deaths per year can be attributed to cardiovascular disease, including conditions that cause heart attacks and strokes. And as of Saturday, the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology have issued new recommendations for controlling high cholesterol levels, one of the biggest heart disease risk indicators. These new guidelines recommend a personalized approach from doctors assessing a patient's risk, new drug treatment options for patients at higher risk, and a sharper focus on LDL target levels, the amount of bad cholesterol present in a person's body. Doctors are being urged to examine the risks of high cholesterol in all patients rather than those in a specific age range. The old guidelines ignored patients younger than 40 and older than 75. They're also encouraged to discuss with patients a range of factors that may increase risks: family history, ethnicity, other metabolic conditions, and chronic kidney disease. LDL levels are once again in focus. People with LDL levels of 100 or lower have reduced rates of heart disease and stroke, whereas levels above 160 are considered very high and require specialized treatment. Though feedback from the medical community about the new recommendations has been largely positive, there are criticisms being made. Coronary artery calcium scores are recommended to help determine the necessity of cholesterol-lowering treatments for patients when their need is unclear. The score shows plaque buildup in arteries, but it requires a CT scan, which can be costly. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The CDC also finding more than 1/3 of Americans are obese, which is likely because of poor diet and a lack of exercise. Experts say the best diet for your body is one you can stick to, and you should find a diet plan that fits with your workout and your schedule.
There's no one-size-fits-all diet that we can recommend for anyone.
Coming up tonight on ABC7 News at 6, we'll hear from Suncoast residents to find out which diets led to the best results for their health.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Oh, there it is. Valley's a webcam, Sarasota Bay. Pretty calm out there. Calm conditions, lots of sunshine, and temperatures warming into the mid to upper 80s across the region. Again, a beautiful sunset tonight, and looks as though just a few clouds around. Warm through Wednesday. By Thursday, we'll get back to normal temperatures. I think a high right around 80 degrees, which is average for this time of year. There'll be a lot of clouds and showers, too, I think, scattered about on Thursday, beginning on Wednesday afternoon and evening, continuing throughout the day on Thursday. As a cold front makes its way through, it's again going to cool things down. Thursday night, Friday, you'll notice a big difference in your temperature, and looks like some dry air will start to slip in. Should make for a pretty cool weekend, considering what we've had as of late. The forecast tonight, 75 degrees at 11 o'clock. That is well above average, and our average low this time of year, low 60s. We're not going to be anywhere close to that. In fact, we'll be about 10 to 12 degrees above average for overnight readings. Well, a storm system is continuing to cause problems over the southeast and stretching off into Illinois tonight. Some snow falling there all the way down into central sections of Missouri. A tornado watch is in effect for the panhandle of Florida over the next several hours as a result of this training effect. Lots of storms moving over the same area with the big contrast in temperature behind the front and out ahead of it. Well, we have had a few brief showers inland mainly. 1 or 2 lone showers made it to the coast this afternoon, but that's about it. With a west wind for the most part, it's going to keep everything inland if we see anything at all. Tomorrow's start, I mentioned low 70s, and that's well above the average. We'll see highs into the mid 80s. We'll have partly cloudy conditions throughout the day, and that rain chance less than 20% for an afternoon shower or two. The wind flow will stay out of the south too. Looks like over the upcoming days we'll see that wind out of the south with a west breeze developing in the afternoon, but all in all, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour, could get as high as 15 at times, but for the most part, a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, and that will continue on Wednesday as well. And the tropics, still we're watching this area. This is a tropical disturbance, and nothing to worry about here. We'll just watch it as it makes its way off to the west, northwest. There's a pretty good chance that it will develop into a tropical depression. Conditions are somewhat favorable for development over the next several days as it moves off to the west, northwest. Eventually, what we think is going to happen is a front's going to move through, and a lot of times what happens is these fronts catch these things and rip them off to the Atlantic, and that's a lot of what we think is going to be happening with this one. You can see most of the models agree with that, with a couple, though, keeping it on a more westerly course, so we'll see how it plays out. It hasn't really even developed quite yet, but just bears watching. As far as our forecast is concerned, we're calling for that front to move through and bring us some rainfall, but not tonight. 82 degrees currently, and the dew point still very high. That means a warm and muggy night overnight. And as far as the extended forecast goes, this is Thursday now, and you can see this is at 11 o'clock. By then, our winds will switch around to the north, and we'll start to get the cooler air moving in as that low pressure area develops and really whips that north wind around. It will start to cool things off, and then high pressure will build back in on Friday and should make for a nice, cool, comfortable day on Friday and even into the weekend as we see some finally cooler temperatures start to move on in. It's been a very warm fall thus far after a very hot summer as well. For boaters, winds will be not too bad out there. Seas running right around 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast is calling for a slight chance for showers tomorrow, mainly inland. Better chances late in the day on Wednesday and Wednesday night. Thursday, scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms in the mix. And we'll turn a bit cooler, back below average finally for Friday and Saturday with temperatures in the 50s for the way out for our lows. That'll be nice. Scott?
It will. Thank you so much. And first alert traffic right now, Bob. We are continuing to monitor a crash on Interstate 75 in Sarasota. This is near the Fruitville Road exit, and traffic is backed up in the northbound lanes between Fruitville and Clark Roads at this hour. Southbound lanes also slow going between Fruitville and University Parkway, but it does clear up once you get past that area. In consumer news, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is prepared to ban the sale of menthol cigarettes, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Last week, the agency's commissioners said they are planning to announce new restrictions on the sale of some flavored vaping products in an effort to curb use among teens. The process of finalizing a ban on menthols would reportedly take a year or longer, and then another year after that for the ban to be enforced, according to the Journal. You seem to be experiencing a lack of response when you touch the screen of your iPhone 10. It might not be your imagination. Apple says the displays on some of the phones may have touch issues because there's a component in the display module that might fail. If the display or any part of it does not respond when you touch it, then your phone could be affected. Apple will repair your phone at no charge after a thorough inspection to make sure it is one of the affected models. eBay is teaming up with Handy, Porch, and InstallerNet to offer in-home installation and assembly services on its site. Customers will be able to add installation and assembly services for purchases for items that may require those tasks, maybe something like a furniture or TV. Shoppers who buy them during checkout will be sent an email from the applicable eBay partner and then instructed on how to proceed with scheduling the installation. Well, stay with us. We'll have your entertainment news right after this.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
rugs as art. Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
It's year-end clearance time at every Gettle location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
It's a brand given life by craftsmen with seductive Italian styling. The Alfa Romeo Giulia, Stelvio.
Get yours at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, Booker High School dancers show what they've learned from an international star. A holiday wardrobe in a capsule, Popies in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Marvel fans all over the world are mourning the loss of comics creator and innovator Stan Lee. Stephanie Elam takes a look back at Lee's marvelous life and career.
Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the X-Men. They're among the most iconic comic book heroes in history, and they simply would not exist without Stan Lee. The visionary behind Marvel Comics lived a life almost as incredible as the characters he created.
I'm pretty proud of the fact that some of the stories that I wrote so many years ago are still being read and hopefully enjoyed by the public, and people are making motion pictures based on them and television series.
Spider-Man debuted in 1962 and became Lee's most successful comic book creation.
Spider-Man is my favorite because he's the most popular and he's known and loved worldwide.
Lee's spidey senses were tingling. Years later, in 2002, the first Spider-Man film was released and was a blockbuster hit.
As a child, I didn't really know anybody who shot webs or crawled on buildings or wore suits of armor and flew or anything like that. I just imagined them, and there they were.
He also imagined Thor, the Incredible Hulk, and the Fantastic Four. They were flawed people with extraordinary powers.
I never had any idea that these characters would last this long. In fact, I and the people I worked with who co-created them with me, the many talented artists, we just hoped that the books would sell and we'd continue to get our salary and be able to pay our rent. The movies have done so much for the characters. The movies have given the comic book characters even more prestige.
The native New Yorker was born Stanley Morgan Lieber. He had humble beginnings, but his love for comics took him much farther than he ever dreamed. He also earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
In a million years, I never thought, that I'd get something like this.
As his creations became larger than life on the big screen, he also kept a feverish pace, making appearances at events like Comic-Con in San Diego.
How are you? Glad to see you.
Though his life seemed charmed, it wasn't without adversity. Lee was married to his wife Joan for over 60 years, and they had 2 daughters. However, his youngest only lived for a few days. In his 80s, Lee was involved in various lawsuits against Marvel and Disney over the span of 7 years. In September 2012, he had surgery for a pacemaker and joked he was trying to become more like his Iron Man character, Tony Stark.
To me, the most important thing in the world is to keep busy, and I'm happy to say I'm lucky enough to still be busy.
The Stan Lee Foundation was also a passion project for Lee, who seemed to believe with great power comes great responsibility.
What we concentrate on is education, educating children.
Stan Lee!
I never would have dreamed years ago that anything like this would happen.
The king of comics, who was adored worldwide, was most proud of his family and his comic heroes. Perhaps Lee will be remembered as a legendary innovator with an uncanny ability to capture the imagination.
Excelsior!
Well, a week after Saturday Night Live, comedian Pete Davidson made fun of veteran and Congressman-elect Lieutenant Commander Dan Crenshaw. It was Lieutenant Crenshaw's turn. Crenshaw, who lost his right eye in 2012 while serving as a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan, showed up in the middle of Davidson's apology on SNL's Weekend Update. Davidson told Crenshaw he was sorry, and Crenshaw accepted, but then suddenly the phone rang, as you can hear there. The ringtone was Breathin', a song by Ariana Grande, who just last month became Davidson's ex-fiancée. After the jokes, Lieutenant Crenshaw got serious, saying this was a lesson that Americans can forgive each other. Bruno Mars will mark the end of his 24-karat Magic World Tour by providing meals to 24,000 people this Thanksgiving holiday. The Hawaiian-born singer says he's donating money to the Salvation Army's Hawaiian and Pacific Islands Division to cover the cost of the food. Mars held the final show of his 200-date tour at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu last night. His 2016 album, 24 Karat Magic, won 6 Grammys earlier this year. The toys are back in town 8 years since their last adventure. Buzz, Woody, and the rest of the Toy Story gang return in a brand new teaser trailer for the long-awaited 4th film in the series. The short clip released today shows the gang holding hands and floating in the sky with new character Forky, a plastic fork with pipe cleaners for arms. Little is known about the plot, but Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, and John Ratzenberger will once again voice the lead characters. The film is set for release sometime in June. Stay with us. We'll have more news right after this.